Well, during the school season when I was playing basketball, I tore my ACL. So I came to Metler Center and did my therapy here. And then I still wasn't sure that I could trust myself fully to get right back into it and start off on my own. So I did physical.
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
What is it? Rehab
Fitness.
fitness.
Okay.
Did my rehab fitness here, and I was able to get back in it and trust myself that I wouldn't go back out there and tear it again or hurt myself even more. And I also learned more things of how to teach myself what to do to not injure myself again.
Did you have any apprehensions about starting rehab fitness?
Yes, I was a little worried that something might go wrong or that I wouldn't be able to get back to where I was. But once I started to do my rehab, I was able to leg press the same weight as my other leg, and I thought that was really good that I was finally getting back there. And now I can start to like sprint and do all that type of stuff too now.
What were the sessions like for you both as you progressed through your rehab?
I'm sorry, what do you mean? Like,
What were the sessions like? Just discuss
The two
your
we discussed.
connection.
like what we talked about? I'm sorry, I'm so confused.
That's okay. Maybe how he helped you and how
Okay, gotcha.
he helped
Yeah.
you heal and
Okay.
how maybe you bonded and felt
Mhm.
safe with it, that kind of thing. And like he was really there for you and helping you, and it was a one-on-one thing.
The one thing that I really liked about being here at the Metler Center and able to work with Garrett was right away I could fully trust that he knew that he was talking about and that he was doing the right things that I needed to do and telling me the right things that I should be doing with myself to prepare myself for what I'm going to be getting back into with basketball and stuff like that. So I was pretty confident that once working with him that I could trust myself to get back on the court and play.
Garrett, do you have anything to add about her?
I think, from a program standpoint, obviously she was not a part of the programming standpoint as far as what I designed for her. The biggest thing that I do with people coming into the rehab fitness program, regardless of what the injury is, I want to baby step them or progress them properly. And for her, there was a lot of stabilization type exercises so that she can able to absorb impacts without extra stress in the knees and the joints. And then we gradually built on that to make it more explosive, more dynamic. And one of the big things I try to do, especially with athletes going through this program, is to educate them on why we're doing certain things. So they have a reason to what they're doing, so they understand it and they can carry that over in regular activities when they go back to practices and in games without my supervision, so they understand what's going on.
Yes, Sidnee. How do you think your progress would have been affected if you didn't do rehab therapy?
I know for sure that when I would work out on my own, I would do things wrong and that I would do things that probably made it to where I did tear my ACL. So now that I know things of what to do and how I can work out on my own to make sure that I don't make it worse, it made that a lot better too, because now I can get stronger on my own.
What progress have you made? What can you give me?
I can finally sprint. I feel like I'm getting back into it. And now my balance has got a lot better, even from before when I tore my ACL, because it was really bad. But now it's a lot better. And we're starting to get into being able to take contact, which is really good because being under the basket a lot, get hit. Yeah.
What would you tell someone who is interested in rehab fitness?
I would say if you're interested in it, you should come to the Metler Center because they are able to work with you one-on-one and take you seriously just as an individual and don't. Oh, I'm sorry, I messed up.
That's right.
Okay.
Let's start back from there. How would you?
I would prefer the Metler Center because you are able to work one-on-one with your trainer and
Start again?
Yep, sorry, yes.
Bugs.
Cole had that
You
issue
would
too. He
recommend-
was swatting flies mid-answer, and we're like,
You would
"You gotta
recommend
they're
start
eating
with
me alive. Okay.
Recommend Metler Center.
Okay.
Yeah, you're doing good.
I would recommend the Metler Center to a friend because you're able to work one-on-one and they take you serious right away. Like right when you meet them, you're able to trust them and know that they're what they're talking about. They know a lot of things and they start off telling you like what is wrong with you and why that happened and what's going on to get you into what you need to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that was great.
Very good.
Okay, so let's go back to your apprehension a little bit and the trust that you have.
I think any apprehensions that people go within the rehab fitness program, hopefully we make them feel a little bit better about it in our consults. I'm not sure if you felt better after kind of talking to you about what we would be doing. And
Yeah, because at first when we were doing something, he could tell right away that I was worried that I'd hurt myself, so he would stop me and tell me, you're fine, you can do it, and then I felt better about it once we started getting through it. So that helped too.
And I think once you learned what the progression was and that you didn't have to go 100%
Yeah.
right off the bat, you could go
When we took it
10%,
slow.
20%, and then we
Work our
progress
way
from where
into
you're
it.
comfortable. I think that really
That
helped
helped a
you.
lot, yeah.
And there's a lot of education involved too. So obviously you have to educate her
Yeah.
why she's doing it. So talk about that a little bit. What you learned from him and why you had to do the things you did, and how grateful you are that you know more now.
Yeah. Okay. Well, at first, I would walk inward with my feet, and that's like really bad for your knees. So I learned to, like, when I do leg press and stuff, you want your knees and your ankles to be straight along with each other. That helped a lot, because when I walked too, I'd kind of trip on myself. So I realized when we started doing sprints and stuff and running, my legs started to straighten out, and I could run a lot better.
I think part of the educational process within the program is this program is not a long life program. We're trying to get you to a certain point where you go to the next phase, and my goal is to teach people how they can cope with that next phase. The next phase with Sidnee was going back to basketball practice and doing a lot of conditioning, doing a lot of practicing, and not really paying attention to maybe what her body's doing. So it was both a physical education for you as well as a mental education. So I would tell you why we were doing certain things, and I think both through the fact that you were doing it and the fact that you were thinking why you were doing it is going to hopefully pay big dividends when you get back out on the court and you don't even have to think about it at that point.
I'm starting to get used to it.
Yes. Yeah, and I think in our last session you really started to pull a lot of concepts together, and that's why we're able to keep progressing you the way we have been.
Yeah.
I think they're ready to go, and they're not.
Yeah, because I did at first, and I started doing my own workout, and it
Yeah.
was starting to hurt.
Well, how about we just start running the camera and you guys can just start talking about that? Just openly
running?
go back and forth. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think one of the misconceptions when people do come out of physical therapy is that they're 100% cured. And whether it's insurance reasons, there's multiple reasons why they're not 100% back to their full functional capacity. And that's what the Rehab Fitness program is for. It's to bridge that gap from where they are to where they're going to be. So with an athlete like Sidnee, she, high caliber athlete, a lot of explosive movements, released from physical therapy, but one leg is still weaker than the other, not able to quite react off it the way she was, not able to absorb impact the way she was before the injury. So there's a dysfunction there, which could have led up to more injuries down the line. So that the Rehab Fitness program is in the process currently, because she's still in the program, bridging that gap. And so that's what we're working on with you.
Yeah, like Garrett said, during my physical therapy, I thought I was fully healed, but once I started to do stuff, it would hurt. And I knew, what was I gonna say? I had something in my head and I forgot.
It's okay, take your time.
Oh gosh. She's watching.
Oh, see?
Way to
It's
go.
okay.
Mom.
Ruined it.
Okay. I had it in my head too, I forgot. Because,
You were talking about when you started doing physical therapy on your own, it was painful and you were doing it wrong.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you're doing.
I thought I was like fully healed. I was like, Mom, let me go back and play games. I can get back into it. And she's like, no, you're not fully healed. So I did. I went to a shooting, and after just like 50 shots, my legs started to hurt. And usually we'd go like to 500 shots just in a whole shooting day. And I was like, I thought she was kind of right. So I told her we need to do some more, and she recommended Rehab Fitness. And so I started doing it with Garrett. And once I started to learn a lot more, I realized how weak it was still and how I could not fully trust myself. So once I did my fitness rehab with Garrett, Rehab Fitness with Garrett, I can now trust myself and know that if I go back on there, I can take contact and be able to like do fast movements with my knees and know that they won't give out on me. But I know I still am not fully healed because it's been 7 months. But I'm still in Rehab Fitness with Garrett, and I'm getting stronger. And then once we're finished, I know that I will be fully confident with it.